Those are the two fandoms that have been diverse from the jump, because Power Rangers is just like, hey, we're gonna have like I know a lot of people are like, man, they made the black guy the Black Ranger, they made the Asian girl yellow, and yeah, whatever. But they were there. Austin St. John, the guy who played their Red Ranger, I think he's like half Hispanic. He's like half Mexican. So like there's always been he was a Mexican leader. Like the first Red Ranger was Mexican. The second Red Ranger was Mexican. So like the first two leaders of the Power Rangers were Mexicans. Like after that you had like a Native American leader, Tommy. After that you had a black leader in TJ. And then after that it took like It took like 5 seasons to finally get a pure white guy to lead the Power Rangers. It took 5 seasons to finally get a pure white guy to lead the Power Rangers. And even like these last couple of seasons, I don't think there hasn't been a white leader of the Power Rangers since like maybe like 2012. 10 years. I think all the leaders of the Power Rangers since 2012, I want to say, they've all been men of color. Either they've been Hispanic or black or Asian. Like they've all been men of color. Cause like the newest guy, he's half black and half Asian. So he's technically kind of the first Asian leader of the Power Rangers. But like he's half black, also. So he's like he's got both of those in him. So, and like recently there's the first black 6th Ranger. What's his name? I think his name is Tyron or something like that. I forgot his name. I don't really watch the show very much anymore. I'm gonna be honest about it. But yeah, I check in every now and again to see if the show's any good or not. But yeah, man, got the first black 6th Ranger. I forgot his name. I think his name is like Tyron or something like that. Yeah, they're doing. I gotta say about that guy. That guy looks exactly like Zach. Like the first Black Ranger. I was like, is that Zach's son? I was like, he looks exactly like Zach. I was like, it blows my mind. I was like, this kid looks like Zach. I wonder if he walked in the room and that's why they cast him. It was like, wow, he looks like Zach, the Black Ranger. Like let's cast this kid. Yeah, man, I'm like, that has always been a diverse. That has always been a diverse fandom from the jump. Because like even they talked to Selwyn Ward, who was the first black leader of the Power Rangers. He was the leader. He was the Red Turbo Ranger on Power Rangers Turbo. Had to be that season that he was the first black leader, but it happened. I hate that it was that season because that season's terrible. But it happened, bro. And they talked to him. I think they talked to him at a convention because like the Power Rangers have a convention called Power Morphicon, and they spoke with him. They interviewed him, and they asked him if he like got any racial backlash about being like the first black guy to be the Red Ranger, then the leader of the Power Rangers, and he said no. He's like, surprisingly, no. That's what he said. He said he was waiting for it. He's like, I was waiting for it. I was counting on it, but it never came. He was like, cause he was just like, wow, they just let me lead this superhero group, this kid on this kid show as a black man, and nobody's batting an eye. I'm not getting any hate mail. I'm not getting any, why is that nigger a Power Ranger? Why is that nigger leading the Power Rangers or anything like that? He was like, that never happened. Everybody was cool with it. And because like they've always, I'm like that's why I continue to defend that show, because that show has always been diverse. It's like everybody's been on that show. It was like whether you're black, Asian, white, Hispanic, Samoan. There was a Samoan leader of the Power Rangers. Whether you're Arabic, whether you're gay now, you know, because there's a gay Power Ranger on the current team. The Green Ranger is gay on the current team. So she's a lesbian. So there's always been diversity on that show, and I applaud it for that, because they take these kids at a young age and get them acquainted with different races of people and different sexual orientations of people. You know, because like I said, there's a gay Power Ranger now. There's a lesbian Power Ranger now. So I love that. Same thing with Star Trek. Star Trek has been that from the jump. You know, Star Trek has been there from the jump, because even like when did Star Trek come out? Like 1966, and you had a black woman on there, you had an Asian man on there, and you had like international people on there. You know, you had like all types of people on there. You know, and it's never been an issue. There was a black captain in 1995. There was a woman captain after that. You know, you had Captain Benjamin Sisko, and you had Captain Janeway. You know, and nobody batted an eye about that shit, because they got their fan base used to it. Star Wars has always had that issue, because they never got their fan base used to it. You know, Lando, when did Lando come in? Lando didn't come in until like the second movie. The first movie is all white. You know, the first movie is all white. Lando comes in the second movie, and you think he might be a villain. And then like in the third movie, he helps out, blows up the Death Star, which nobody wants to talk about. In Return of the Jedi, Lando Calrissian saves the galaxy, and nobody wants to talk about that shit. A black man, like, he blew up the Death Star, but nobody wants to talk about that shit. They always want to talk about Luke fighting Vader and all this shit, and fucking Ewoks and shit. But you know, but yeah, man, that's the problem. They never got anybody used in that fan base. They didn't get anybody used to other cultures, to other nationalities, in that fan base, especially black people, even Asian people. Cause like this, I'm like this. I like Star Wars, but this fan base could be bullies. They could be a bunch of bullies, because they bully John Boyega, they bully Daisy Ridley, they bully Kelly Marie Tran. You know, I think even back in the day, I think even Billy D. Williams got some flack. I think I heard back in the day for being Lando. They bullied Ahmad Best, who played Jar Jar Binks. They bullied Jake Lloyd, who played Little Anakin. They bullied Hayden Christensen. You know, they bullied a lot of people in the Star Wars universe. Ahmad Best talked about the fact that they bullied him so much that he almost committed suicide. He was gonna jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know if a lot of people know that, because like I saw something with him on YouTube, and he said that they bullied him so much and it affected him so much, and it even affected his work, that he couldn't get a lot of roles after Star Wars. It affected him so much that he was going to commit suicide. He was going to take himself out of this earth, because the Star Wars fan base is so goddamn mean. The Star Wars fan base is that mean that you're going to have this man commit suicide. Jake Lloyd. Look at what y'all did to Jake Lloyd. Or look at what the toxic fan base did to Jake Lloyd. Like, this kid ain't never been the same. He got bullied when he was a kid. He talked about he has schizophrenia. You know, he's been arrested multiple times. You know, like that shit affected him. Hayden Christensen didn't act for a while. Like, he stopped acting. Hayden Christensen, the guy that played adult Anakin, he stopped acting for a while because the Star Wars fan base was so goddamn mean that it made him lose his confidence in acting. And now they want to bully this girl. You know, it's fucking sad. She's not that bad. She's not that bad of an actress. I like her in this episode. I like her on this show. I like the interaction because I like the interaction in this episode particularly that she had with Leia when she was trying to get information out of Leia. Cause I like the part where like she was like, Obi-Wan is not coming. Obi-Wan is dead. And Leia was like, I gotta ask my father first or something like that. Or some shit like that. and Reva had this she was like, nice try. That's what she said. And she was like, I hope you like pain. We're gonna make those tears real. Like, I like that part. That part was funny to me. And she's just a fucking mega bitch. She's a mega bitch on this show, man. I love it. But yeah, the rest of the show, I thought the rest of the episode was good. I know, like, some of it didn't make sense because you got that girl. What's that girl's name? Her name is Talia, whatever the fuck her name is. The chick that's like a double agent or some shit like that. Her name, because she snuck Obi-Wan on the ship, on the rebel ship, the spacecraft that the Empire is on. She snuck him in so he could go save Leia, and she's got her uniform on, and then like she's in places that she's not supposed to be. There's a part where she's like she's sitting next to another Imperial guard or Imperial soldier, and she's talking like hella loud to like Obi-Wan on a comm, to even like the point where the guy will turn around and like, who the fuck she talking to for a little bit. And it was like, there was a little bit of plot hole. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of plot hole. But I enjoyed the episode. I especially enjoyed watching the stormtroopers get the shit kicked out of them. I enjoyed that shit. I enjoyed watching the stormtroopers get the shit kicked out of them. That shit was funny. That was funny. Cause like I'm like, they might as well just be the fucking putty patrol at this time. You know, at this point, cause they get their asses kicked so easily. You know, so goddamn easily. It's so easy to beat up a stormtrooper and shoot a stormtrooper because they got armor on. That's the point. That's the thing that always trips me the fuck out in every goddamn Star Wars movie or Star Wars show, whatever the stormtroopers are in. They get shot, but they got fucking armor on. And they get shot and it leaves a hole in their goddamn chest. I'm like, what's the point of the fucking armor if it's not gonna protect you? What's the point of the fucking armor if it's not gonna protect you? There's no point to it if it's not gonna protect you from fucking bullets. It's like a cop having a bulletproof vest on and still getting shot and he dies. You know, just like that shit. It's like you having Kevlar on and you get shot and you still die. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man, shit's fucking funny to me. Shit's funny to me. But I enjoyed this episode. Vader came up in there. Vader was in this episode, and when you saw him, you were like, oh shit. He walked up in there like a pimp, asking for his money and shit. But just hilarious, man. Fucking, that was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny when he walked up in there and then he fucking start choking Reva. And he's like, I told you to kill these motherfuckers and they ain't dead. What the fuck? But yeah, man. And then like she put a fucking tracer in Layla.